Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. There we go. Greeting, greeting, greeting. Hello, welcome. How are you today? If you're watching today live or on replay. Ooh, do that. Ooh, energy drink and toothpaste is not a good combination. Anyway, let's get on, shall we? Yeah, a bit late today, but yeah, I'm here now. Not that anyone really cares. That self-deprecating humour everyone keeps telling me about. Let's just get my drills open because starting a new diamond painting. Horror movie icons, as it were. I know most of them. Let's see what we got. Many colours. Well, not many colours. There's only 16. Yeah. So I was doing a considerably larger one, which I finished this morning and is up on the wall. Not straight, but just hung up there. Just there until I can get around to getting a frame big enough for it, basically. Such is the way of the world. But yeah, I figured, why not start something else while I'm waiting for, shall I say, a delivery to turn up. A delivery that's been delayed by some kind of trouble with the courier, apparently, in China, or with the aeroplane. They didn't quite, story of my life, not straight and just hung up over there. Yeah, well, at least it's not hung out to dry. Oh god, why is this so sticky? Things you don't want to say at the start of a live stream. Why is this so sticky? Yeah, that's what she said. Anyway. Let's get things in a decent position and clear up a little. Yeah, so this week, other than work, mostly been doing that, planting some, starting to clear the garden ready for winter, pulling all the annual plants, the ones that only live for 1 year, and then well, the ones that have all set seed anyway, the ones that haven't set seed I'm leaving for now. Sorry, it's got an itchy elbow. Yeah. What are we going to start with? Look like number 11. Oh, Kelsoprees. I'm starting the diamond painting with black. It is horror movie characters, so that's not really a surprise. Ooh, pardon me. Let's grab a shot cup and a piece of tape. and a scribbling device. In this case, a calligraphy highlighter. Oh, not highlighter, pen. And this is seriously. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's going to be weird doing something quite so small after such a large one. Woof. That's what she said. Get all the jokes in before Sammy does. But yeah, I've got a delivery coming with some other stuffs in it. One of which is what I wanted to do next, but because things got delayed, and it's not likely to be here till, I'd say, Tuesday at the earliest. We need something to fill in the time in between. And there's not much I can do that is quicker than a little Diamante painting. Ooh, there we go. Grab some clean wax. Good morning, Deli. How are you, my darling? Good to see you. Always is. So I'll do a bit of this today, and then I'll do a bit of painting of Athena, and we'll see where we go. But yeah, I just didn't want to get stuck into something big that I didn't really want to start, because this other thing should be here in a couple of days that I really want to start. Oh, day off today. Married, darling. How the devil are you? My dabbing darling. Are you dabbing along with me today, as I call it? Well, as Mary came up with it, as a name for diamond painting. As in, how was your day? Oh, it was quite good. I did a bunch of dabbing. Yeah. Oh, Mary's dabbing away. Still on the big old panther. So I got the 40 by 50 of the goose lady in the tree done. I finished that this morning. Still on the big boy. We know you like to be on a big boy. And as it says at the top of the chat, it's not hung up straight. It's just hung up out of the way so it doesn't get damaged. While I find a frame. So camera moving. There we go. If you're watching on a small screen, you probably won't be able to see it, but here we are. Yeah, I sort of had a good start on it, and then it was just one of those where, because it's bigger than I'm used to, sort of lost a bit of heart. And then I was like, no, just carry on with it. It's just going to take a bit longer than usual. heck's that noise? Yeah, I think is that. Yeah, I'm actually hearing the fan in the laptop. That's what it must be. Either that or the battery's about to explode, one or the other. Back to sleep, 3 a.m. I don't blame you. I woke up at 3 a.m. and I've had 2 very long naps today. Second one of which is why I was I was slightly late and unprepared. But, sleep tight, yeah. Don't let the bed bugs bite or the cat fleas. There we go. Fans stopping now. Or the battery's about to explode, one or the other. Yeah, so with the big old diamond painting, yeah, I say big old, big for me anyway. Yeah, sort of started to lose heart because I was doing a load, didn't seem like I was getting anywhere. Didn't help that the drills were quite dusty. So I was having to replace the wax in the pen pretty regularly. Because it was just getting dirty and not sticking anymore. But yeah, stuck with it, got there, done. And it made me think, that's a 40 by 50. I've got a bunch of 40 by 70s to do. Oh boy. At least I don't think any of them are squares, because that would be a nightmare. Where'd that last one go? Yeah, it's definitely worse things happen at sea, but yeah. Next thing next thing on the list is custom diamond painting, custom paint by numbers of a certain Miss Jansen. I just hope it's actually decent and yeah. We shall see. It's a black and white as well, so will it be black and white or will they send me a whole bunch of weird random colours? Or will it be literally black and a bunch of different greys, which is what I want? Yeah. If I wanted bright and colourful, I'd have gone for a colour one, which I said probably made the skin bright pink or orange or something, but the Trump tan. Or Mar-a-Lago face, as I've heard it called. Oh dear. Anyway, yes. So that was the plan. I'd be doing that by now, but as I say, delay in shipping, but I did get £4 back on the order because it's late. And there's another one as well that's technically due tomorrow. What I'm pretty sure is not going to be here tomorrow. So I'll get another £4 back on that one as well. Micro glue dots in the pen. So I don't have a problem with the wax. the wax works perfectly well. Problem was that for whatever reason, the drills in that one were just specifically the two dark colours, the midnight blue and the black, which I think are 310 and 959, something like that. 939, yeah. Is it? It might be. Can't remember. I'm shade blind. Remember. Yeah, 959's a Porsche, isn't it? Yeah, but I was just, for whatever reason, they were either really dusty or had a layer of something on them, and 200 or 300 drills, and the wax was losing its stick. So, time for new wax. Yeah, it could. Yeah, it could well have been a release agent. That's probably what it was, to be honest. Just release agent, either oil or very fine powder. I would say oil. It'll be a silicon. Which just shows these things aren't produced in the latest high-tech machinery. Because the latest high-tech machinery, yeah, they like for plastic model kits, which is exactly the same process and product. Very slightly different type of plastic, but yeah, styrene rather than acrylic. But, yeah, they actually impregnate the mold release into the molds, into the steel, so they don't have to use it. So you don't have to wash the sprues for the kits before the paint will stick and all that. But yeah, you still find it every so often. You'll open an older plastic model kit and it'll be like, oh, that feels horrible. It's oily. Yeah, it's just covered in release agent. But yeah, so it's all done now. Spare drills are in the bin. The thing is, like I say, there weren't enough of most of the colours to worry about keeping, and it's not like I'm short of black and midnight blue. I think all my numbered pots are all completely full of those. But yeah. Oh. And some use the wax when you're working with the special diamonds. Oh, the shiny ones. What is it? Aurora Borealis, Fairy Dust, and Frosted. I think they're the three, aren't they? Yeah. Oh, not had the frosted ones yet then. The ones that basically don't shine. It kind of defeats the object, I think. But yeah, I've done a couple with the AB. The first little dinky Floriansen one I did had some AB in it. And then the one of Engelbert, the better fish, that did as well. Yes, I just don't think about them. Not a fan, I take it. I'll leave that. Let's dab. It's, I mean, yeah, the special diamonds are cool, don't get me wrong. But I find they tend to just, if they're not used in the right places, they just stand out too much. It's like they become the center of attention rather than the picture itself. Um, which generally I'd choose pictures because it's what I want to do a picture of. It's what I like. In this case, I'm just doing a small one that gets have something on the bench because while I do enjoy figure painting, I can't just sit and do it for hours. Mainly because I'd go through figures at a vast rate of knots, and also because I would literally be sitting here watching paint dry. Which I'm sure you'll agree isn't the most enjoyable of things to do. We're already getting shards and blobs and bits of plastic in these drills. Oh well. Not to worry. How are we going? Oh, that room. But yeah, so the big one I just did in rows of 10 columns, so 10 rows, 10 rows, 10 rows, until I got up to 60, which was like a good height without having to stretch too far across the bench to do it. Then I turned it around 90 degrees and did the same on the next side and the next side, and yeah, did that 3 times, and then it was like, oh, it's the last little bit, which worked out quite well. So I think is the plan I will utilise in future. Obviously, depending on the picture. If it's something that's very confettified, and yeah, that might not be the most sensible way of doing it, but meh. And also, if it's something that's just huge colour blocks, so I don't think I'd want to sit there doing like 10 or 6 rows, 10 rows or whatever of all one colour. That would be that would test even my patience. I did wonder what would happen if you just sent like a black picture for a custom and just pure black. See whether it would find colours in there, or whether it just all come back with a bunch of just 310s, or whether it'd do shades in it as well. Yeah. So yes, what's been going on this week? As I said, work, getting that done, water changes. One employee of the month again at work. I can't work like that. Need the white wax paper so I don't see everything. You'll be doing a colour and you'll see one dot of it over there somewhere, and you'll feel you'll need to go and do that. Or but that bit. Are you okay? You want it this way? Oh, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't bother sending an email to check. Although I have found out where they draw the line on what is considered acceptable. Underwear is fine, which I don't. So this is one of the things that I don't get. Like AliExpress, I'm going to use as the example. You can buy figures on there, resin figures, models of, well, the most adult things you can imagine. And some of the things which are probably not quite legal, even with consent. And I'll sell those quite happily. And anime figurines of basically schoolgirls that are anatomically, well, correct. I use in the loosest possible term because, anime is a fairly loose with the actual concept of the female form. They'll sell those quite happily. No problem at all. But you can't have a diamond painting or paint by numbers or a custom poster or something like that if it's got above a certain level of nudity in it. And I'm not talking pornographic, we're just talking nude. So, yeah. I would say different strokes for different folks, but yeah, that's probably a bit too close to the bone for, oh God, that's just as bad, isn't it? Yeah, just doesn't make sense. Here we'll sell you this figure or model of someone doing stuff that, would make me blush. But no, you can't have a picture of an adult actress who, is famous for doing these things. It's what they do for a living. No, we can't possibly let you see any part of her that someone might deem inappropriate. Never mind. Good job I'm not actually that much of a perv. I just wanted to see, really, and see what the level was, what the Chinese, etc., companies deem is an acceptable level. That's happier at Denmark where everything goes. Yep. And not too far from Holland either, so you know. Or the Netherlands, I should say. I don't think we're supposed to call it Holland anymore, are we? Like we were talking about Yugoslavia at work the other day, and one of the young uns got very confused because they'd never heard of Yugoslavia as a country. Yeah, it's the same place, but I like the Dutchies. I don't want to upset them if I can help it. They're cool people. I'm just waiting for Donald to go to Amsterdam. That will be hilarious. He'd probably want to be sending the National Guard in or something to reclaim the streets from the criminal gangs. Now she thought, no, Donald, that's legal here. You don't have to have someone film it and then upload it to the internet for it to be legal in this country. Yes, Donald, we know they're smoking drugs. We don't care. Yeah, it's just my eyesight doing weird things. No, it's not just my eyesight. Things just do go a bit blurry in this corner of the canvas. Never mind. Yeah, there's not talking about that thing on the net. Well, I mean, suffice to say, his visit to the UK hasn't gone as he thought it would do. Basically, the great British public have trolled the living hell out of him. The British journalists have been asking him all the really awkward questions that he doesn't want to be asked. You know, freedom of the speech. He can't phone a company up and threaten to revoke their license if they don't sack someone because that person doesn't agree with him. Because he has zero power here, which I don't think he understands. But yeah, it was an interesting thing to watch. But yeah, so the printing this side of the canvas, crystal clear. Read it, no problems. This side, not so much. I was going by guesswork pretty much here. And hoping I'm doing the right colours in the right places, but you know, doesn't really matter. Yeah. Yeah, the big posters, yes. Crowdfunded. Just to show, just in general, how much the British public don't like him. And then projecting the same pictures actually onto the walls of Windsor Castle. Suffice to say, that didn't go down too well either. Yeah, exactly. The only people that like that thing are the the MAGAs, so less than half the population of his country. The rest of the world can't stand him, apart from Vladimir, who thinks he's awesome because he's such a weak leader, it's unreal. And the comedians for just the never ending line of gaffes, lies, stumbles and fumbles over words. Oh hell, I'm pretty sure his own wife doesn't like him. I'm pretty sure she's just hanging about until he dies so she can get the money. But knowing him, he's probably giving it all to someone else. Well, pretty much all think he's done with his pal Jeffrey. And he should get treated exactly the same as all the others. Oh, of course he'll have her deported if she divorces him. That's yeah. I'll give her due though. She did actually raise Baron, the youngest son, because he developed the same accent as his mother, for which he got sent to boarding school so he could have it kicked out of him. But we can't have you sounding Slavic. I forget where she's from. It's somewhere that way. Yeah, probably. Probably an undercover KGB operative. Oh dear. Or should we do A's? Eights. Hmm. Hmm. You know what? I've done so many dull colours, blues and dark blues and greeny blues, and I want to do something bright and colourful. Yeah, somewhere that used to be Soviet bloc. Somewhere that lots of vodka is drunk. Oh, very quiet again tonight. Is it just us two here, Merritt? Or is there someone else lurking away in the chat? Has Sammy got me in his back pocket, or is Debs hiding up out there somewhere? I was hoping at some point we might actually get some of the diamond painters turn up. I know some people do, haha. They do live stream occasionally with a diamond painting, but oh yeah, that's definitely bright. What number is it? 321. Oh God, no. Ted Rogers and Dusty Bin. 1970s, 80s game show in the UK. 321. Right up there with Bullseye in terms of cheesy awfulness. And even less likely to get a remake. Is there anybody there? No, I think it's just me and thee, Merritt, and a lurker. So how's your week been? Anything interesting? Ha! Finished the assignment, working weekend night. It's been 2 years. Well, welcome back during the day. Good to see you. Oh, Chris turned 19 Friday. In that case, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, young Chris. Happy birthday to you. I hope that was sufficiently bad that Chris would enjoy it. Yeah. Good to have you back, and I know the pain of working nights. It's not so bad in the winter when it's fairly dark during the days, but yeah, during the summer it sucks. It's a whole you get home from work in the light and you leave for work in the dark. The human body just doesn't do well with that. It's one thing that's guaranteed to bring you down. I mean, but needs must. We we've all got to work to some extent or another to make a living, and it's not always going to be sunshine and flowers, quite literally. A lot of the time, it's going to be darkness and misery. Or is that just my particularly cynical and bleak view on the world? Let's be honest, cynical and bleak is what I do best. Feels good. Just went through all the sticks that stuff in the drawer. Decorated a cigar box with duplicates and fish stickers. Quite satisfying. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. I'm going to have a bit of a clear out at some point of fishy stuff. No doubt I've got all sorts of gack sitting there that I haven't used for years, and it's stuff I bought at the time because people were saying about it and used maybe once. Just went, yeah, can't be bothered. There's easier ways to do it. Both really, but a lot of grey. Sounds like my hair. Well, my beard. A lot of grey. 16 is K. There we go. Actually, I'm going to save that one for when I do actually get round to 4. Ooh, there we go. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, there's I don't know if everyone else's streams are as quiet as mine are at the moment, or whether it's just me and I've done something to upset the fishy people. I don't think I have. I probably have. For daring to have more than one hobby. That's probably what it is. That's what I'm going to go with anyway. Or it's just still a weird time of day for some people, and I know for Adele it's basically middle of the night. Same for Mark. Crago. I think it's 6 round about lunchtime on the east coast of the States. So early morning on the west coast. So yeah, it's one of those weird times. But I've been in the same time slot for so many years now that it feels weird to move it. Yep, life does happen. Yeah, it's making the most of the weather before it does turn completely pants. Yeah, we had a warm couple of days this week, or back end of this week. And I saw another one. There it is. But thankfully cooling back down again now. But basically, we had a couple of days in between Atlantic storms, and it got warm, and then it didn't. It went back to the normal. 12 is F. Have we got many Fs to do? F. How many Fs have I got to give? Yeah, there's a few. There's 87. Too hot for me outside in ATX. ATX. TX is usually Texas. Maryland's on Maryland. Merritt's on H at the moment. Be careful who reads that. Yeah, 87. What's that? High 20s. Yeah, it was. It was 20, 25, 26 here yesterday. C, which is probably similar kind of temperature. It's still Friday. No, Friday was the hot one, which is typical because it was bloody busy at work and I had loads to do. There's just come back to your life. Wife and I are asleep at the same time, more importantly, awake at the same time. Yeah, that is one of the problems when you are on nights or doing weird hours is, yeah, you don't get to spend time with your loved ones. You're basically trying to sleep while they're trying to live, and vice versa. And yeah, everyone just spends the whole time trying to be quiet. Yeah. Yeah, so I've been there, done that. I've worked nights. You just don't get anything done because by the time you get home and have something to eat, calm down, chill down, go to bed, actually sleep. By the time you get up the next day, there's only a few hours left before you've got to go back to work again. Is that all the fuzz for now? I believe so. Lots of time spent by yourself, lots of growth. I hope you mean psychologically, not spread, shall we call it. I'm quite happy on my own. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. In fact, it won't all find me better for it. Yeah. it's an experience, and yeah, you've done your bit now. Someone else's turn, and that's, oh God, I'm going to be philosophical. That's never a good sign. Yeah, that's the thing with life, isn't it? As long as we can continue to grow and improve ourselves as people, then something's going right. Oh God, this. Why am I trying to do this with two pens in my hand? There we go. Yes, I know. Sharpe can write. Oh my God. I don't need all them. That's probably going to be far too many still. Yeah. Well, I see it as long as I try to every day learn something new. Um, I wouldn't be able to tell you what it was I learnt today. I will have done. It'll no doubt pop out of my brain at the most inopportune time. Not sure if you ever want a partner again. Yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from there. I mean, hell, talking to someone who's spent basically their entire young to mid adult life alone. It's just promise me one thing. Don't say never. No, never, 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 never. Because that one person may well come along when you're least expecting it. Oh, hell, I'm proof of that. If anyone was resigned to living out their days on their own, I'm quite happy with it. It was me. But thankfully, I found myself a lovely lady who also doesn't want to be under each other's feet all the time, wants her freedom, well, I say freedom, her independence, to be the person she wants to be. And I'm not pushed, forced, pressured into moving in together or any stupid stuff like that. Ugh. Yeah, none of that. But it's been 3 months. Why hasn't he proposed? Whereas if you've been with me 3 months, you'll understand that's not going to happen. For a multitude of reasons. One, I don't need a piece of paper to prove that I care about or love someone. Two, I don't need a fancy ring to put on a finger to symbolize that I own that person, because I don't. And three, I'm not religious. So having a religious ceremony for me, yeah, kind of smacks of insincerity. It'd be like if I was up in court and they asked me to swear on the Bible. I'd be like, yeah, fine, I don't care. Exactly. It might happen. Might just be some random courier posty dude turns up to deliver a new diamond painting and you fall head over heels. You never know. Sort of saying never, many examples of saying never and find myself doing the same thing. Not going to do paediatric nursing, not going to have too many guppies, and not going to enjoy staying at home. Yeah, I mean, there are things I know I'm not going to do. I'm not going to go into care work or nursing or any of that because, well, that's just not going to end well. And then life happens. Not going to have too many guppies. Just sticking with something predatory and you don't have that problem. And anyone who doesn't enjoy staying at home, don't trust them. They're the same people that don't laugh at a fart. I don't trust them either. Oh no, I can't just be at home. Oh, that's so boring, such a waste. Well, I mean, if you've got nothing that you like to do at home, maybe, but yeah, I've got plenty I can do that is at home that I enjoy. You know, a lot of it because there aren't other people around. Yeah, I can film a video without some random old person asking me some question about what are you doing? You can't film here. You can't make a video here. It's illegal. No, it's not. It's a public place. I don't give my permission. Well, you don't have to because I'm not filming you. But if you keep getting in front of the camera, then that's your fault. If you don't want to be in the video, don't stand in front of the camera. It's pretty simple. Thankfully, most of the places I do go and film are fairly quiet and there aren't too many people around. But yeah, that day filming stuff in Norwich was a bit of a nightmare. The first couple were easy because it was early when I went up there. People weren't around yet. But as the day wore on, more and more people just kept getting in the bloody way. So many years, always out there. Fish tanks happened in 2020, 5 years later, complete different person. You see, 2020 happened to me, like it happened to all of us. Nothing really changed. I mean, okay, I didn't get to see Mary for quite a while, and I started a new job that sucked. Well, the job was fine. It's just the boss. It was a monumental bell end. Kind of person who expects you to behave as though you've got a stake in the business whilst paying you the absolute least wages he can, and then gets surprised when you really don't care. Yeah. Yeah, so most of the stuff I like to do, I do on my own anyway. So outside of work, I am basically generally at home alone. I'm not looking to go out and do fun stuffs. Or if I am going to go out and do stuff, it'll be stuff on my own away from other people. Oh, pardon me. Yeah. So the main thing that whole period of our lives taught me was the amount of people who can't stand the people they live with because they needed to be drunk or under the influence of alcohol to spend time with them. How many people put their own comfort above everyone else's health and safety? And just how many people suddenly seem to have severe respiratory problems that were so bad they couldn't possibly have a piece of fabric over their face. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Yes, you can. If you couldn't breathe, you wouldn't be. It's quite simple. It's just slightly uncomfortable. Deal with it. And isn't that when the whole sovereign citizen BS started to come up as well? Just like your ex, it felt like we all got sent to our room. A lot of us stopped and thought, what we're doing with our life. Yeah, that did happen. A lot of people got a chance to just stop, sit back, and go, hang on, why am I doing this? A lot of people reevaluated. A lot of business people or office people, were doing the whole work from home thing, and we're like, hang on, this works. I can get my work done. I don't have to dress up. I don't have to travel to the office. Don't have to put up with Dave from accounts staring at my cleavage. I can sit here in my pajamas and do my work in probably half the time it takes to do it in the office. And then businesses decided they didn't like that. They didn't like not being able to keep an eye on their employees. But no, we need to be able to see you're doing something between the hours of 8 and 5 or whenever. It's like, why? The job is done. If I can do the job in 2 hours and I'm salaried, what's the problem? Yeah. I think what it was is a lot of them missed doing the big pointless PowerPoint presentations. You know, the kind of ones where you're in a meeting for an hour and then at the end of it, you put your hand up and you go, why couldn't this just have been an email? Cookie time. Good, good, good. Don't get the crumbs down your top. They'll be there for a while. Technology enables us to be anywhere but interact in real time. Texas and England, yeah. And I'm the furthest side of England from Texas as well. So, but yeah, it's, I don't know why. Well, the same as I don't know why people still insist on, no, you have to wear a suit if you work in office. Why? Customers don't come in and see what we look like. The only people who see us are ourselves. Why do we have to dress a certain way? Why can't we just be comfortable? Yeah, I wouldn't do well in an office environment. I'd probably quit within about a week. But, you know, seriously, you mean that? Or to get to about lunchtime and I go, right, so what does everyone actually do in the afternoons? They go, we work. And I'm like, yeah, Marit's in Norway, even further east. Yeah, been me going, so what do you all do in the afternoon around here? We work. We work really hard. I'm like, how? I've got everything done. It's not even lunchtime. Yeah, that's just me. Because I don't go and hang up, well, I wouldn't go and hang around by the coffee machine and I wouldn't be just chatting and stuff like that. It'd be like, oh, pardon me. Well, if you want to know, send me an email or more than likely, sorry, that's personal. That's private life stuff. I don't do that at work. What do you mean? Right, let's do some paintifying, shall we? It's been a while. I think I even put the brushes away. Yeah, I did. Got 000. That should be small enough. Get that out of the way, and then maybe the camera might actually focus on what I'm doing. Probably not. Right, so what are we going to do? Do we do a flesh wash? I think we do a flesh wash first. Ooh. Interviewing for nursing Jason's the past 2 months. Showing up in scrubs. No one said anything. Agreed dressing up was weird. And a blazer and cookies at Foxy's wedding. Norway. Norway. Part of Europe, but not in the EU. For jobs. Boiling hot in the middle of summer. Ridiculously cold and full of snow in the winter. Geographically, much like Canada, I'd guess, because similar kind of latitude and longitude. Latitude, yeah. Generally a cool country, if a bit expensive. And yeah, the women are smoking hot. Yeah. Went from, as the Al Murray joke goes, bit of a come down. Went from horny helmets to, well, horny helmets. Hot. I said hot. Hot and buxom. Gorgeous and lovely. You know, I'll keep going until you vomit. Oh, bless. You know I love you really, Marit. Mwah. Can't get my face in shot. Well, I could, but it'd be a really weird angle. I think I am fat. I'm just fat. I could never be described as hot. Anyone who did would probably need their eyes checking. There's a Greg. How you doing? Mr. G of 3. As I try and do an all over flesh wash on Athena without having it pull up and look blotchy. As I'm sure Greco-Roman goddesses didn't have blotchy skin. And Greco-Romans probably did. Everyone did back then because, well, everyone had all kinds of diseases that all kinds of things that we can cure easily these days because modern medicine. Well, we can. RFK doesn't want Americans to be able to cure it, but you know. Which I'm guessing in your line of work, Austin, yeah, you're probably not a fan of RFK and what he's been trying to do and say. Well, I say, you know, not that you can actually speak. I think I saw the other day some other senator basically just tearing him a new one. And, you know, basically informing him that his extremist beliefs have no place in his job. And his job is about facts and science, not belief. It was honestly like watching a naughty schoolboy getting told off by the teacher as he's trying to defend what he's been saying and couldn't. No, but miss, but sir, no, please don't tell me off. But that's not what I believe. Well, that's tough shit. Oh dear, I'm swearing. Filter must have slipped. I think we're safe. I don't think there's any under 18s around, is there? Anyone who's going to be upset by the occasional swear word. Yeah, that was funny to watch. And a super weird vibe. I'm not giving things energy that I disagree with, especially when I have no control. Scientists write things down. It will write itself eventually. Yes, it will. It's my firm belief that at some point the whole MAGA thing is going to go full Jim Jones, Jonestown, drink the blue Kool-Aid and go away. That's what I think anyway. Yeah. Just hope that karma comes around like a chameleon. Karma, 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 chameleon. Right, so let's let her dry. The wash shade of any kind of, or the wash phase of any kind of figure painting, I always look bad. Don't worry about it. What we got? That brown wash? Yes. You know what? I'm going to have a ciggy because I've only had one so far. Yeah, these things sort themselves out in time. It might not be the way we're expecting. It might not be. It'll probably be something completely out of left field that does for it. But it was like last time he was over here and met the Queen. He committed the major faux pas of walking in front of her, which you do not do. You do not walk in front of the monarch unless you're a guard. And he heard all about it and he got told all about it. You know, you don't do that. And what's the first thing, well, one of the first things he does when he comes over? Walks in front of the king. Then perhaps he thinks it's different for kings and queens. Don't know. Oh yeah, he did that. But yeah, very strange at the moment. And I mean, I've not spent so much time in my own head. I'm not sure any of this is real. Yeah, this is the problem. You sort of, I mean, as an outsider looking in, you watch these things and you're like, oh my God, it can't get any worse than that. And then the next day it does. It's like, oh God, he's doubled down on it. As no one told him. I gotcha. The thing you got to remember is I've been in so many bloody chats over the years. I've probably done all the typos. So I'm pretty good at figuring them out. I mean, sometimes I read them out because they're funny, but yes. So What's next on the agenda? Yeah, so water changes tomorrow. Video to upload. Not sure which one. I think I've got a couple ready to go. I think there's one on the garden and one on more stash of diamond paintings. Merritt, your typing is better than most British people, and you're typing in a different language. Yeah. Nobody puts Merritt in a box. Because the thing is, for Europeans in general, being able to speak two languages fluently or relatively fluently in some cases is just a normal everyday thing. But so those of us from English speaking countries, or at least here in the UK, we do get taught languages at school. And we can kind of fudge about the basics of some European languages, or a bit of French, Spanish, Italian, that kind of stuff, because some of it's fairly similar to British or English. Or British English anyway. But yeah, it's not a massively common thing for us to be multilingual. And that's just the UK, and we know what the American education system's like. So I know Malaysians, Poles, Bulgarians, Norwegians, all sorts, with a better grasp of the English language than some English people I know. I mean, there's one I work with who is functionally illiterate. He can barely read and write. And we're not talking about someone with special needs or some kind of brain injury. It's just literally that dumb. The same person who told me he was on a carb-free diet as he sat there eating a sandwich. I'm like, what? What do you mean you're carb-free? Yeah. I'm not eating carbs. What the hell are you eating a sandwich for then? It's gluten-free. It's got no carbs in it. No, it's got no gluten in it. Gluten and carbohydrates are two very different things. Looks at me like, what do you mean? Bread without carbohydrates is just yeast farts. Yeah. Mine is the same person who did Weight Watchers for 6 months, lost some weight, stopped going, went back to exactly how he was eating beforehand and drinking, and couldn't understand why he put the weight back on. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah, because you're eating and drinking too much again. No, I'm not. Yeah. What you were consuming on your diet was what you should be eating on a regular, normal basis, is what the rest of us who aren't your size do eat. Went to a CPR class for healthcare workers, and we did a round robin reading of situations with multiple choice answers. It was an eye opener. I was 2 or 13 who could read coherently. Oh my god. Yeah, and people who need to be able to read. I would put healthcare workers fairly high on that list because, you know, there's charts, there's reading the labels on all the medications and injections and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of important. I swear I read other languages better than this guy reads English. Oh, bless you. Well, get your cute little butt to bed then if you're tired. Do you want me to come and tuck you in? Is that what it is? Tell you a story, sing your lullaby. Oh, I don't think I know any of the kind of. Well, the kind of stories I know aren't the kind of ones you want to be listening to just before bed. Read without pausing in conversational flow. Believe everyone is technically literate. Yeah, it's when you see someone reading and their lips are moving. It's like they have to sound out the words in their head. You trust me? Oh, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't trust me. I know what I'm like. Actually, no, we're not going to use brown because this is a sandstone. What have we got? Where'd that darker flesh wash go? Nope, that's another brown. Well, I've got multiple pots of brown. There we go. It's supposed to be a flesh wash, but I've never seen anyone with skin this colour. It's been sat there a while. Kind of needs a mix. So I shall channel my inner 14-year-old boy and give it a good shake. In which case I should use this hand. Oh, there we go. You sleep on replay, something sleep many times. I'd let you tell me bedtime stories. Oh, bless you. I suppose, yeah, I've got channels I listen to go to sleep to. Drukinafel at night, Horror Babble, the Tony Walker's ghost stories, generally for naps or Warhammer lore videos. So yeah, I mean, I'd take it as a compliment that people would use me as a sleep aid. there are some YouTubers who get upset at the concept that people put them on to go to sleep. They take it as it means they're boring, but it's not that. If it's boring, you won't fall asleep. It's got to be interesting enough that you're not bored, but also not too animated. Because if it is, then you won't sleep. By animated, I don't mean cartoons. I mean the way the person speaks. Basically, you don't want someone who's dull monotone, but you also don't want someone who gets really excited and enthused about what they're talking about. And don't think I'm actually physically capable of getting that excited about anything. Well, maybe if Christina Hendricks or Floor Jansen knocked on my door and said, "Hi, big boy," then I'd probably get rather excited. And I'd probably think I was weird because I'd want to talk. This one's calming, not all excitement and noise. Oh dear, I'm pleasant. Yeah, I think that's the first time anyone's ever called me that. But yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from because I'm the same when it comes to my chosen content for falling asleep to. I mean, I can't fall asleep to an AI voice because they just keep making pronunciation errors, which you can get over, like because especially when it's a fantasy or a sci-fi setting, and there might not be a set way for how these things should be pronounced. You've read it and you've sounded it out in your own mind as to how it sounds, but someone else might do that completely differently. Fair enough. Problem is, AI voices will change the way they pronounce things during the same video. Or if there's anything in Roman numerals, that's always a giveaway as well. I had on the other day while I was doing something else. I was like, yeah, I need something to just some noise in the background, and it was a 40k lore video about the legions of Astartes, the Space Marines, all that stuff. But every time it referred to the legions by their number, which would be in Roman numerals, it would just be wrong. And so the Ixth Legion, no, Ninth Legion, and then Perturabo, and then two sentences later, and so Perturabo, and a couple of seconds later, another pronunciation of the same name. You think, Come on, it's not that difficult. But the kickback against those AI read law and story channels is already happening. Because it's just lazy. Yes, you can ask ChatGPT or whatever to write you a story about it, and then you can ask it to narrate it. And boom, job done. Which is why I enjoy the likes of Voldemort. Not to sleep to, because he's so excitable and effusive and characterful, really, to fall asleep to. But you know, he writes his own stuff. He narrates it. Basically, it's a proper human doing human stuff's channel. Whereas, let's say, the AI ones is just laziness. Because AI being AI will keep going back to the same things at time and time again. He shall not be named. Yes. Hashtag blame Lorgar. Actually, hashtag blame the Emperor is probably more accurate. Right, now, do we do green or do we do blue shade for the dress? What colour is the Celia green shade? Ooh, I don't know, that's kind of turquoisey. Let's find out. Or do we mix some of that with some blue and then thin it out? This is where figure painting gets interesting. And you have to start mixing the colours to see what you want. So I mean, technically that's a blue, but it's a real dark blue. And that's a real dark green. But what I want is a dark turquoise, which is a bluey green. So we're going to see which ones, and then we're going to mix them. Oh yeah, definitely Biel-Tan. Right, so we'll lose the Celia green shade and grab a tattoo ink pot. Grab iron pipetton. Probably quite a bit of green. Turn the water completely green, clean that with the pipette. And then a few drops of blue. Close these. Had to drill into an acrylic rod 2 inches, go slow and increasing bit size. It's 1/4 of an inch. How interested in how you might do it? Probably the same way. Just start off with a very narrow drill. Probably use that. You probably can't see because it's absolutely minute. But yes, that is a bench vise. Yeah, that's what I've done when I've drilled out tank gun barrels and the like. Just yeah, start with a small drill bit and gradually increase. Although in my case, a small drill bit is measured in the tenths of millimeters, shall we say? Right, what colour is that? Still mainly green. Let's try it with a little on a brush. Yeah, need a bit more blue in there. Yeah, so I've drilled out tank gun barrels, aeroplane gun barrels in ridiculously small scales. And yeah, it's same way, just smaller drill bits and 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, I'd be using. Where's my pin vise gone? I'll be using a pin vise. Just to me, that's a fairly large drill bit for modelling. That's what, 1.5 millimeters. I've got them down to I think 0.1 mil, something stupidly ridiculous like that. Oh yeah, that looks better. To the point where I can take a cocktail stick, as we call them, or what do you call them in the States? Cocktail, something else, I think. I can take one of them, chop it, and use it as a gun barrel, and literally I can drill out a cocktail stick even. So yeah, ridiculous as that sounds. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because we don't want it too thin. Oh, pardon me. Right. Now, first of all, we try this on a section of the model that's not too obvious. I think that is mostly water. Yeah, that'll work. Just adding shadow into the folds of the dress. I didn't want it to be too blue or too green. Or too dark either, because very easy to go too dark on a wash, and then it's a pig to bring it back. It's a lot easier to lighten colours than to darken things back again than it is to lighten them back up if you go too dark. Well, this is going to make it look more kind of sea foam green than turquoise, but I'm good with that. It's a decent shade, different cut, decent colour. Just try not to let it puddle quite too heavily. And here's where we've got to be careful, because I want it to pick out the detail, but not flood over onto the surrounding areas, which are the skin. Nearly that time already. Wow, that flew by. I must have been waffling about all sorts of random stuff today. Well, I do say I do prefer the not having a script and specific, this is what we're going to talk about today kind of vibe. I'm not knocking those who do it. If it works for them, it works for them. But it's just not for me, because I tend to be generally too random. Either someone will say something or I'll say something, and it sends me off on a tangent somewhere, and I like to be able to explore my tangents. And yes, I'm aware she has got rather large honkers. And I'm pretty sure no real ones have ever sat like that. But, you know, she is a goddess, so that's allowed. And also, you know, not real. Let's be honest, if they gave fantasy characters realistic body types and shapes, I don't think anyone would be quite so interested. Um, I mean, how many I say teenage boys, is probably also a lot older men as well, but how many would still be interested in manga or anime, whatever you want to call it, if it was actually anatomically correct? How many people would be interested in the rest of it? Oh, I've been talking Merrick to sleep, but here we go. Nothing much showing up, but there we are. You can just about start to see where the washes have brought out some of the shading, the depths of the shadows. Tried to keep things looking realistic and painting my finger green. If you've been doing any kind of model painting or figure painting and your hands are clean, you're doing it wrong. Hate to break it to you. We'll pop that somewhere out of the way. Clean that off. And so I'm just taking my time, doing a bit here and there, but this is something you asked about last time, Marit. So Marit. So I thought I'd show you the wet palette. Now, what it is you have a piece of parchment paper on the top, transfer, and then a sponge. And this is dried out again, but there we go. And what happens is the transfer paper stays wet. I'm just going to go grab some clean water. Back in a second. Right. So yeah, it's for acrylic paint, water-based acrylic paints, which we all know have an annoying tendency to dry out real fast. So what this does basically is it keeps your paint wet for, depending on the individual wet palette and how effective it is. It can keep the paint wet for days, weeks, even. Which means if you mix a colour, like I have done with those shades, then you can keep it. You can, because it's not necessarily, especially with a figure. I mean, if you're painting an aeroplane or a tank, you can go, right, well, I use 10 drops of this paint, 5 drops of this paint, 20 drops of thinner. You can note it down and you can repeat it. Whereas on a figure, you're going to be using a bit of this, a bit of that. It's why I keep the paints out that I've used. So when it comes to mixing colours, I know which ones I've used. Yeah, like parchment paper for baking. Yeah, and it also helps thin the paint as well. I know I was saying with the paint by numbers about how thick the paint was. Well, yes, because I'm not used to using paint that thick. I'm used to using, by comparison, water. So you can see it's starting to get there now. It's starting to soak through. And yeah, that's what that is. This is my little one. I've got a much bigger one that it's just ridiculously huge. But now that will be ready for tomorrow. So I can start on more sort of detail-y type paintings, and it's especially useful for doing skin because you can use 10, 15, 20 different skin tones to shade and highlight and get everything where you need to. Have I got any figures? Nothing obvious. Oh, hang on. That might show up. Come here, Banshee. So I'll get that out of the way and put my hand behind it. Yeah, kind of shows up. But yeah, So yes, technically it looks one colour, but yeah, there's all the shading going on. So you can pick out just the change from almost white to pretty much dark green down there. Or what else we got? Oh, that will show it as well. That's actually bigger. Undead Horseman. So, you know, as the different tones and shades are built up, and you use a wet palette. Or an airbrush, but in this case, this is all brush painted. But there we go. Don't have nightmares from about banshees and undead horsemen. Hang on, is he in one piece at the moment, or is he in multiple pieces? Oh yeah, one piece. That's scared of bejesus out of people. Dusty as heck, but we're going to angle up a little here. Oh, wrong one. And there we have Nagash as Supreme Lord of the Undead. Very dusty, as I did him years ago, but yeah. In Warhammer Old World, or as it used to be called, Fantasy Battle War, he is the first of the undead, the Lord of the Undead. So yes, lots of bone to paint. Anyway, thank you to the... Oh, there's actually 7 people here now, so we must have 5 lurkers. Well, Sammy's here as well. But yeah. Yeah, that's not delicate. Not compared to some of them. But anyway, thanks for showing up. Have a good week. Stay safe. Enjoy what you're doing. Have fun. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Good night, Deb. Do 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 do. Good night, Deb. Do 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 do. Good night, Deb. Do 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 do.